So yes, hello everyone and welcome back to a news video. This is rather odd. I haven't done a news video in probably about 3 months. And that's because not much news has really come out. Well, if you look at Farry's YouTube, you'd think a lot of news had come out. But ultimately, nothing really concrete has come out about Doctor Who Series 13 really at all. Most of it is just leaks and the odd little bit, like the odd little filming picture of a monster. But seeing as the monsters aren't recognisable, presumably they're new villains, like there was one Megamind looking fella. There's not much really to say about it, and when I make a news video I like to give my opinion on the news rather than just simply tell you about the news, because if I do that the video is not going to be very long and you might as well just find it on Twitter. So I like to think me actually talking about the news adds something. It probably doesn't, but that's why I like to do news videos, where I feel as if the topic is more substantial, shall we say. And nothing like that has really happened in the last 3 months. There was the whole Weeping Angel origin story thing, which I was kind of late to when I discovered that. It's still a leak, so nothing concrete, but I did have some thoughts about that, but ultimately I was a bit late to the party. I still might make a video on that, but you know, maybe not, because it's kind of a topic that's since gone out of the public consciousness. But if you want me to make a video on that, then put your thoughts in the comment section below, because I am tempted, because I do have some thoughts. But yes, it's time to crack out the revelation of the Daleks background music, because we've got another news video, and that is actually rather fitting because today's news video is actually about the Daleks. Now obviously the Daleks featured in Resolution, they featured last year in Revolution of the Daleks, and it seems as if they may be coming back again, whether that's in Series 13 or another special, who knows. But we've had this picture of a Dalek that was on Instagram. I found it on Twitter, a screenshot of the Instagram picture, and it's by the Twins FX, and it's got a Dalek outside of a Twins FX building, and it says Steve the Dalek is off again for a few weeks ... Hashtag BBC, hashtag press, hashtag Dalek, hashtag FX, hashtag Twins FX, hashtag Culture Recovery Fund at the Twins FX at BBC. So that could mean a number of things, to be honest with you. Obviously most people thought the Daleks there, oh my god, the Daleks are coming back in Series 13 or a special. And to talk about that possibility, my thoughts are mixed. Primarily because Series 13 has plenty of stuff going on, by the looks of it. I mean, I made a video on how I was worried that it was ultimately just going to get too stuffed, and it was going to have essentially too much jam on too little toast, and that is still my primary concern for the series, particularly if Jodie leaves, which it has been rumoured that she will. Adding the Daleks in there, just don't do it, because it's going to be too much. I think to have a satisfying Dalek story, you can't have the amount of stuff that they're going to have in Series 13 just in 7 episodes. There's no real room for the Daleks, so I don't know where they're going to fit in. It's more likely that there'll be a special, like a trilogy of specials to cap off the Jodie Whittaker Dalek trilogy, which, yeah, could be okay, but I'm not really sure where you can go after Revolution of the Daleks. Probably some way with Jack Robertson, but I just think realistically Revolution carried on from Resolution, in the sense that you had obviously the Dalek casing. There's nothing really left like that from Revolution, so I'm not really sure how you'd carry that on. But I mean, it's possible. I think my primary concern would mainly be from the fact that, contrary to popular opinion, I don't really like the Chibnall Dalek stories. Resolution, I mean, I've got a history on this channel for disliking. I'm just not really a big fan of it. I think the story is just really basic and really not very good. It takes the claustrophobia of Dalek and just strips it away, and it becomes really redundant. Plus, the Dalek I don't find very scary, just because no one really treats it as a threat, and the setting doesn't really do that either. It's really a poor man's version of Dalek, and it's just not very good to me. Like, people say it made the Daleks scary again, but the amount of times the Doctor said "fam" and the climax with the microwave and everyone sliding across the floor, it just became laughable. Personally, I was never a fan of Resolution at the time, and I just don't think it's a very good story. And yeah, it's not a great Dalek story by any means. And then Revolution, which really has the opposite issue of Resolution. If Resolution was a story that really had nothing going for it and really needed some more elements to make it interesting, Revolution is the opposite. It has too much going on, and it means that it's just whizzing through certain elements, and a lot of elements really feel underused. Like the best elements, the Doctor in prison. Well, oh, she's out after 2 minutes. The Doctor and companions having to fend for themselves while the Doctor isn't there. That could be interesting. Psych, no it isn't, because the Doctor's back instantly. The Daleks slowly integrating themselves into society as defense drones. Psych, no, they get instantly turned evil after being defense drones for 2 seconds, rendering that entire plotline pointless. Yeah, Revolution just has too many elements, and it really kind of underutilizes most of them. Even the Dalek Civil War feels really forced and kind of hollow in that story. So yeah, it was a step up from Resolution, but realistically it's still not great. I still think it's a lot of wasted potential, and it's just kind of an Air Dalek story when it could have been great. So ultimately I really think that Chris Chibnall isn't the best at writing Dalek stories, and yeah, I think that the specials really aren't the best for Dalek stories. I think Revolution especially needed to be a two-parter, and it just wasn't, and Resolution didn't have enough to it to make it a special. So realistically I don't think the special time slot is really the best for Dalek stories. I know they probably want to do a trilogy, and they might as well, but to be perfectly honest with you, I'd much rather they scrap this trilogy idea and just did it as part of a series, because therefore you just get a longer runtime and probably a more satisfying Dalek story. But on the whole, I'm not the biggest fan of Chibnall Dalek stories, and if Jodie was to go out on a Dalek story, there's a likely it wouldn't be that great. That's just on the possibility that this Dalek is for Series 13 or for a special, because most people thought, oh, you know, that Dalek's going out filming, and that's a possibility. But you look at some of the hashtags, you've got hashtag press, hashtag effects, and this could all be for a press event, because Mr. TARDIS, a friend of the channel, put on Twitter that actually there have been Daleks rolled out that people thought were going to be for a series that were ultimately just for press events. Like, he was at a press event where a Dalek was there, and he said that some rumours about a Dalek featuring in Series 11 was false, and he was ultimately right. So there is a possibility, especially looking at the hashtags, hashtag press, you know, it could be for a promotion event. So it's likely that it's not for Doctor Who Series 13, very much like the John Barrowman stuff I reported on like months ago, that ultimately there's a chance, but it's unlikely, and that's probably a similar situation here. But ultimately it could be for either. As I said, it'd be interesting to see the Daleks in Series 13, it'd be interesting to see what Chibnall came up with for a third part in his trilogy, but ultimately, given how he's handled the Daleks before, I'm not all that, you know, enthusiastic about it, particularly with the amount of stuff already in Series 13. You don't need to shove the Daleks in there, that's not going to end well. And also, there's a big chance that this may not even be for Series 13 and could be for a press event. It could be for that live show thing. Was it what the hell is it even called? Is it Fractured Time? Fractured Dimensions? I really have literally just forgotten what that is called, and so I'll put it on the screen what the hell it is actually called to correct my blunder. But yeah, it could be for that. So ultimately it could be for a variety of things. It's not 100% it's going to be for Series 13, but I mean, there's a chance. And yeah, what do you think about this? Do you think it's for Series 13? Would you want to see the Daleks in Series 13? Would you want to see the Daleks in a special, perhaps in Jodie's final episode? Whatever you think, draw your thoughts in the comment section below. And yeah, I'd be really interested in reading your thoughts. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. And if you want to see more news videos and just general videos, then hit the subscribe button. But thank you all for watching, and of course, a goodbye.